This is the Lamborghini Diablo SE30 Yota. It is well known as JK from Jamiroquai's Purple Lamborghini from Cosmic Girl. He actually owned a particular example. Considering there's only 15 available in right-hand drive, it is a seriously valuable car at about £500,000, with the SE30 already being more powerful than the respective SV at 523 horsepower. This takes it off a notch. The Yota has nearly 600 horsepower at its disposal, which is a lot considering it's from 1993. It's nearly McLaren F1 levels of power from its 5.7 litre V12. There were only 30 examples of the SE30 and even fewer of the Yota, and it was a track exclusive vehicle. But what I've done today in Forza Horizon 4 is make it a road legal monster of a car. So like all Lamborghinis, has bonkers styling, near racing pedigree, and that's only accentuated by the fact it's bright purple. I am now going to demonstrate how this performs against particular Lamborghinis, as it does have near modern car handling, but obviously it's not going to have the most sophisticated traction. But I'll show you here on this 4-lap race how it's going to absolutely dominate the competition, and I'm going to try and overtake every single person on this race here. Keen-eyed viewers will notice how it dives into the corners with relative ease, outperforming some of the driver tires here in their Aventadors. And of course, the Yota model was meant to compete with GT2, GT1 sort of cars of this era, and it shows. I'm now going to hush up and let this play out. So we're going into this 4th lap here, and you've realised we've skipped ahead. So we were 12th and now we're 4th, and we're following a Huracan and also Gallardo Spider. And you can see, oh, I just nudged that Huracan a little bit. Admittedly, JK did actually crash this Lamborghini very bad in the early 2000s. In the noughties, obviously, risky driving is going to absolutely trash this car. But I believe this... well, his particular example was still on sale, like I said, for a hefty premium of 500,000. And you can see we skip through and we come first. And now, showing you the difference in lap times, just look at that and you can see all the cars coming past, and we're about a second quicker than the quickest cars. I'm gonna provoke its top speed. Time to check out his quarter mile. Will this Lambo be formidable on track as the spec sheet suggests? So we're off in the Lamborghini Diablo SE30 Yota. So only 30 of these ever built, and even fewer for track use. Already at 100, and you can see the long gears in this car. Like I said, only 5 gears. Oh, and this is quite messy, quite brutish, as you'd expect in Lamborghini fashion. That old Italian V12 just churning out the power. Very strong mid-range as well, because it's got a lot more torque than original. In this particular example, it has 640 plus Newton meters. In this natural aspirated lump, it's very, very good for pulling in streets and on the highway for traffic. purposes, overtaking is not a problem. You can see it reaches over 100 in a second. So we're powering through. We're gonna go over the line at about 167, reaching a time of 58 seconds. Go over the line for the 4th time, and you can see we've reached a 56.5. We're gonna beat that, definitely. You can see how you have to modulate the trot with this. It only has sports tyres, so it's got that modern grip that it needs, but the suspension can only be tuned so much. Admittedly, this is an 80s car which has been revised and revamped, and of course this V12 has been used for 40 years, not up to that point, but only until the Aventador was it changed. You see hitting the fences as well. And powering along, and we've done the last corner, now we're onto the straight, in which is easy to accelerate, very easy. Try not to make a mistake, it's just a straight line. And we've reached a 56.25 pretty much. So that fills a gap actually in the cars we've tested here. So fills the gap between the Q60 and the Bentley Twin Turbo R, and the SE30 bridges that gap quite a bit. It's much quicker than the Bentley, 3 seconds in fact, but not quite on the level as the GTR Q60, still nearly 2 seconds behind, but it is formidable from a Diablo of this era, and that just shows how supercars have evolved.